Hi there, this is Paul Edwards with Denmark Company, and today we're going to be discussing the use of Rascal Dan C Pap Cleaner and how to use it safely and correctly. So the first thing I want you to realize is that Rascal Dan calcium hypochlorite calcium carbonate cleaner is a very safe product, but the thing is that with all safe products, particularly household cleaners, household sanitizers, commercial cleaners, commercial sanitizers, all of them have to have safe, practical considerations. So the first thing I like to do is talk to you about safety first. My recommendation is that you always wear nitrile gloves whenever you're handling any household cleaners or household sanitizers. We also recommend that you wear safety glasses to keep yourself safe. And keep in mind that when you do this in front of your children, they know that mom and dad are taking care of themselves and that mom and dad are teaching them some good principles around the house. Just be careful with household cleaners, okay? What I'm doing is I'm taking a 1 gram pellet of the calcium carbonate, calcium hypochlorite pellet that is the part of the ingredient that makes the Rascal Dan work like it does. This pellet here is about this. It's less than the size of a dime. Okay. The first thing you want to do is you want to drop it at the bottom of a pot, and this is a 12-quart pot. Okay. You can buy it anywhere, any of your favorite places to go shopping for pots. And so I dropped it to the bottom. As you can see, there's no water there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add cold water to it. This is not something that has to be temperature activated, okay? Cold water is fine. Just pour it right in. And you want to fill it up and allow the pellet inside the bottom there, the 1 gram pellet, to dissolve completely or close to it. You know, as soon as the water starts to make contact with the pellet will start to dissolve. It's an immediate reaction. So it's starting to dissolve. You want to keep in mind that even though that's a solid right now, that when it dissolves, it becomes a dissolved solid. And a dissolved solid is just as effective in cleaning as a solid. So, you know, you think about it, okay, you get a detergent, you fill up your washer with the powder detergent, you throw your clothes in there, you start your water, the water goes through the powder, it dissolves the powder goes in and starts cleaning the soils off of the clothing that's in the washing machine. That's exactly how it works. Could you imagine taking your clothing out of the washing machine and then having the same crystals that you put in all over your shirt and your pants and everything that you wear? And so yeah, it's not a practical way to clean. So they take a solid like this one here, they dissolve it, and then all of a sudden you get to use it normally. Now for the sake of this program, I want to demonstrate a couple of things for you, okay? And I'm going to kind of try to keep it as minimal of videoing as I can, because I know that people's attention spans change, okay? So what I do is I've got my pellet in the bottom and it's in the process of dissolving, okay? Here's my CPAP mask. This is my personal CPAP mask. And as you can see, I've taken the forehead cushion out, and here's what it looks like on the inside of it. Okay, this goes over my nose, okay? Some of you out there looking at it goes, man, you must have a big nose. Look how big that thing is. Yeah, my nose does fit there, and I guess it's big, yeah. Okay, well, you throw that in the bottom. Okay, basically it goes to the bottom of the water. As you can see, I filled this about 75% of this 12 quarts have been filled. Okay, you can fill it to the top, but what's going to do is it's going to overflow if you fill it to the top. So what I basically do is just fill it 3/4. Then I take this right here and then I submerge it, okay? Once again, I want to emphasize that this is safe, okay? This concentration of chemistry is safe, but for all good practical teaching purposes and also your safety first, it's good to wear your nitrile gloves anyway, even though if it's safe, okay? So now what I've done is I've submerged this hose. As you can see, the outside of it and the inside of it has now filled with water, okay? Now let's say that 45 minutes have passed and the pellet on the bottom has definitely dissolved. Then basically what you do is you go on and do something I'm about to show you. But you see, you're going to have parts that may come off, like this part here. This is my traveling CPAP. It has a part that comes off. You can take that part off, okay, so that both sides of that part is filled. So now let's say here's another piece right here. Let me take this out too. Okay, so you got that piece there. It's down now, floating in there. So this 45 minutes have passed. It's been soaking. Now what you do is what I call the actual cleaning process. See how I grab that hole, fill it up, then I take it up, then I fill it up, and then I take it up. See, what that's doing is running that dissolved cleaner all the way through the hose. See that? See what I'm doing? You hear the bubbles coming out? Gotta listen closely. Yeah, you hear that bubbles coming out. Okay, what that means is that bubbles, those bubbles right there, means that the air, that there's air right here, okay? When you come in here, now all of a sudden you've taken that air and you've pushed it in a different direction, and then you've lifted it like that. So what it's doing is it's circulating the chemistry within the tube, and that's what you want. You want that, okay? So you just let it sit a little bit longer there. That's the 45-minute point, and you just let it sit there. Now, I've been using this cleaner for over a year now, and I've not seen any degradation on my tubing, okay? So my tubing is holding up. All of my fittings are holding up. The cushion, I recommend that you take it off, that forehead cushion, and the reason why I recommend that you do that is because I noticed that that gel in that cushion started to give away with this chemistry. So what I'd recommend is just use soap and water to clean it, and then this right here, your breathing apparatus, this is where your air is coming in and so forth. You got a face mask. If this was a facial mask, then your mouth would be inside of it and your nose would be in there, and so that also would be a consideration for cleaning. This would be the step to use. Some of the CPAP machines have a little vessel in them, and in that vessel it has water, and that's how they keep the humidity of the air that you're breathing in and out. It keeps the humidity present with that little water tank that's inside of it that they fill up with distilled water. You could take that apart and bring that in and stick it in here as well for this same purpose. Okay, this, like I said, the mask is on the bottom. It's seeing the cleaner. You can pull it up. Well, if you had that plastic vessel that has the water, you can bring that vessel and stick it in here too. And I would recommend it because that vessel, when you have a full face mask on it, it starts to get a little bit of that breathing into that vessel, and that vessel could, get dirty as well. So what we recommend is just take that, and, take your glove, and you want to clean the inside of this. Here you can do that, and just kind of break up the debris if there's any. But you don't really think about it. Out of your nose, there's not a lot of debris that comes out of it, So I don't think you're going to see a big buildup of soils in there from the perspective of what's coming out of your body. That dissolved calcium carbonate can't address. Okay, so you don't need to break out the brushes and run a brush through it. Just do this right here. And like I said, I've been doing this for over a year, and it's worked well. Now, some people have asked me, what do you recommend as far as a cleaning cycle? I clean mine every 2 weeks. I take a pellet, stick it in here, stick the hose in, everything, all the parts that I'm cleaning. Every 2 weeks I run it. I do it for an hour. Sometimes if I'm watching a program, I forget, I'll let it soak for 6 hours, maybe a 24-hour period. I have not seen any degradation of the hoses or anything like that, even when I've soaked it for over 24 hours, okay? You don't need to. You can do it in an hour. It'll clean it. You could do it in a couple hours, it'll clean it. You could do it 24 hours, it'll clean it. And I haven't seen any degradation of the hose. That isn't normal wear and tear. So, okay folks, it's been approximately 1 hour. Just kind of finish up here. Basically what we're doing now is we're going to go on and pull out our parts that we cleaned. Okay, so got that part there. And you know, the amount of cleaner that we have here is not a significant issue. So the thing about it is that you just take this cleaner out, okay, and you throw your parts over here to the side, and your basin here that you're cleaning in, your sink, that should be clean too. So you got that. We're going to empty out your hose. We're going to set this aside here, okay. We're going to go on and just, I really didn't leave it for a complete hour. I'm just trying to move this training along. But I'm going to empty the contents of the container. Now what I'm going to do is put this back in the container with all the parts and so forth. Okay, so we got the parts back in. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this back up with fresh water, cold fresh water, okay? So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go through what I call rinsing your cleaner out of your container here. So I'm going to get first I'm starting out with my nose here, and I'm cleaning it up thoroughly. I'm running a lot of water through that. You want to go on and rinse out all the dissolved content out of your nose mask or your face mask, so forth. See that? I'm taking that out. Okay, if you got a towel close by, you can put your parts right on top of the towel so that they could dry. And so sometimes these cleaners, you could have such a high concentration of it, and we're not dealing with a high concentration here, but you could have a high concentration of it that would be that could cause like discoloration. So you want to be real careful with that amount. Okay, there's basically what I propose is one pellet of this product, 1 gram pellet, 1 gram pellet of calcium hypochlorite, calcium carbonate. And what I've done with that is I've gone on and used that in approximately 12 quarts of water, and we haven't seen any discoloration of anything with that concentration. So, you know, your wife, what towels are you using? Okay, sweetheart, don't worry about the towels. I promise you I'm not gonna turn them discolored. Okay, see, now what I'm doing is I'm going on and doing this here, rinsing it out thoroughly. Okay, so I'm trying to clean the back of this out. Okay, now if you're going to do what I'm about to do, which is to put the hose in the drain so it empties directly into the drain. Okay, I could turn off this water to this drum. There's a little part down in here that I need to get out. Okay, so now what I can do is I can run this hose, run the water directly into the hose. You see that? Okay, I got my sweetie pie got a fancy head on her little faucet here. So I get to pull, you see that little string there? Trying to get that, make sure I show this. We got this water here. Oops, got a little bit of water going down my shirt. There we are. Okay, here we go. See this water flow right there? I'm running that water flow cold right through the hose. I wanted you to see that. Okay, plenty of water there. Rinsing it out completely. So basically that's what I'm doing is I'm rinsing out the inside of the hose with this little jewel here, a spray head. And so I'm rinsing it out, running a lot of water through there. And that's what you want to do is you want to rinse this out thoroughly and run it all out. After you've done that, just roll up your coil, your hose there, roll it up, put it on top of your towel here, let it dry off completely, and then run it directly to your, see how I got it all there? Okay, So now what happens is, I don't use my wife's best and favorite wash towels, you know, kitchen wash towels, or which her kitchen utensils. Like if this was a really expensive pot, I probably wouldn't do it with the really expensive pot because I don't want to get in trouble. Okay, so I'm recommending that, you know, if you're going to pick the pot, 12 quart pot to put this in, make sure it's not the most expensive one she has, because it could get you in trouble. Okay, you got your, same thing with the towels, okay? Don't get the most expensive towel that she just bought wherever she buys her towels at. Find one that she's not using often and put your hose and your nose mask right there on that towel, okay? Because sometimes they're not worried about the detergent, they're just worried about your nose, where it's been. So, okay? So I make my point there, folks. I really appreciate the opportunity. Take advantage of our free samples that we're getting out for a limited time offer. Thank you very much.